All right, so let's do one more test that you can do on the vehicle, or in this case on the bench, with the injectors. You may be thinking, what, am I going to do a flow test? No, I don't have that equipment. That equipment's out there, and it's rather expensive unless you do a lot of diesel work. You're a big shop and you're well funded, and you can get some of these big test fixtures to actually check the flow rate of the diesel injectors. If you're a mom-pop shop and don't have that kind of money, there is one more thing you can do besides resistance test of these injectors, and it's using the high voltage leak test side of the meter. This particular meter, this 1587 model, it is designed for amps, ohms, and volts, like I may have mentioned before, but it has one other feature. It actually puts low current, but very high voltage, 50, 100, 250, 500, or 1000 volts. You select it by pushing this button right here into the circuit. So unlike a normal meter, this leak tester, aka mega ohm meter, aka Megger, can put more than a half a volt or a volt or two into the circuit and see what it gets back. That's what most ohm meters, all ohm meters, regular ohm meters do. This mega ohm meter, or leak or insulation tester as it's sometimes called, can be used to put more voltage into a circuit. You won't see it arcing or anything like that. It's low current, but we can read the resistance that occurs when we put a lot of voltage into the circuit. So I'm going to go ahead and use these leads again, but I'm going to pull one out actually and just leave it out. I'm going to pull this red one out, and I'm going to move the black one over here to another connection. They normally be used for amps, but when I use it in combination with this special lead for high voltage or insulation leak detection, whatever you want to call it, the Megger function, that's what I'm going to use to induce the high voltage. So it's a special lead, goes in like that. I'm going to turn it down here to where it says insulation 50 through 1000. If you work on hybrids, you may have one of these. And you're thinking, well, this is what I check to see if the center conductor, the terminal that goes to, say, to an inverter, if between there and that braided shield that goes around that, if I have any continuity through there and I put extra voltage into that circuit to kind of see if I can detect insulation decay. It's not just for hybrids. Some manufacturers are actually showing you hooking it to a spark plug and looking to see if you have any continuity with high voltage from the center tip of the spark plug, where the spark plug wire goes on, to the ground strap. And you should have a complete open circuit. Same thing can be done here with these injectors, because they can not only short or go open in their windings, they can also have an issue where they have the windings leak. Remember, these are high voltage injectors. 48, 60, some 100 volt injectors. We don't want to have any leakage. That's going to cause misfires and other issues along with injectors finally failing. So to detect them before they finally fail, let's go ahead and pop this lead in here. And the other lead, I'm not going to go to here. I know I've got continuity there. I want to make sure I don't have any continuity between here. This is only 5 ohms difference from here, right? So I don't need to do both sides. And here. So I'm going to take my black lead, put this alligator back on it, and connect it to the ground of this injector. And that's kind of loose, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to sit here and hold it. Nice and tight on there. There we go. I'm going to push the button. I got 1000 volts. Let's really give it a good shaking. And I hit that button, hold it down. 2.2 giga ohms. That's 2.2 billion, not million, billion ohms. So that's a completely open circuit. So this injector is not experiencing any leakage between the coil winding that's going to control that armature, which is going to then control the flow valve in the injector, and ground. So this is a good injector. So you can do this with any diesel injector or any ignition coil, any spark plug, or of course those orange cables on those hybrids. It's a very versatile tool. If you're not getting the most out of it, use your imagination and use it for some other uses.